Hello everybody. I'm so excited to be here. Okay, so let me pull open my stuff. We'll see. I should probably pop into Facebook because it's good old Facey. Let's see. I'm gonna share this. I wish I could share this. Why can't I share this? Do any of you guys know that? Okay, so sorry, it always takes me a minute to get going on here. And I do apologize. There we go. So I got that open. You can probably see my husband in the background. Okay, so I don't think anyone's popped in here yet. That's not a big deal though. I am just going to get going anyways. Welcome everybody. Nobody watching right now. Okay, beautiful. Let's get going. So first of all, I'm super happy to be here. I'm super happy to be doing this little training. Today, you might have noticed I went live on Tuesday and I'm going live again today. I'm actually going to be going live every Tuesday and Thursday. I'm actually 30 minutes ahead of time. It should be 2 o'clock Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I think I told you guys 2:30. So I gotta fix that. But I'm super happy to be here. And the reason I'm doing lives twice a week is because I want to be able to answer questions and I want to be able to make sure that you're having all of the support that you could possibly want and need or imagine. So sounds pretty dang good, right? Okay, so I say so a lot and I'm sorry. That's probably really annoying for everybody that's watching or will be watching. I know I'll probably have a few more on the replay. So if you're watching this on replay, please let me know you're here on the replay. I love seeing that. It makes my heart happy that the videos don't just get lost and die somewhere. So like with every other live that I do, I love to share a positive focus. And a positive focus is just things that you're excited about, that you're happy about, that's like really pumping you up, that sort of thing. And I kind of have two. I mentioned last time that we're actually working on a 5-day Automate to Freedom challenge, which I'm really, really excited about. We've got all of the content planned for that. I know exactly what I'm going to be training you guys, which is a miracle because you know me, I'm last minute Lindsey. I'll just pull things out of the fly. Or on the fly. I don't pull it out of a fly, but on the fly. And that's starting November 5th. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. I'm going to actually invite you to join, just register for that so you can get all of the reminders and stuff. I'll be posting that at the end, so you'll get that. And then my other positive focus is I started my business when my baby was very, very little, like very, very tiny baby. And I built my website and did all of my branding when my baby was very, very tiny, that same age. And I haven't updated it since, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that later on. But I'm actually paying this amazing, amazing human. Her name's Quinn Curtis. She is a genius at what she does. I joined her in Flow on Fire. Like, I did all the design thing. I did her private. I don't know if she's doing privates anymore, but I did her private. Sorry, I'm just kidding. If you're wondering what I'm doing. I did her private thing where she's actually helping me redesign my logo and our branding and all the messaging and the website and everything like that. And that we had a beautiful call today. I'm really, really excited about those things because we're going to be getting brand new websites, brand new logos. Everything is going to be so beautiful and so professionally done and not done by me. So it's going to be great. The other thing is, yeah, I'll leave it there. Let's get going. So, of course, when I share the link for the 5-day challenge, I would be so humbled and so grateful if you would share that with somebody or a friend, another entrepreneur that you think could benefit from it or might just have fun doing a couple little automation challenges with us. I would love for you to share them and add them and invite them to register, add them to the group, and then let me or one of my girls know that you did that, because once you do, that qualifies you for this super special surprise during the 5-day challenge. And I am really excited about that surprise, and everybody gets it. It's not some weird drawing thing. You actually get that surprise. So that is really, really, really exciting. So please do that. And I'll give you all the details in the next couple of weeks during the 5-day challenge. I'm going to keep you guessing until then. Sorry, this shirt's kind of bothering me. It's kind of bothering me a little bit. Okay, so you're probably ready to dive into the meat of this training now. We've been going on for a couple of minutes. So let's dive into it. Since I've been building this business and I've been helping so many other beautiful entrepreneurs build their businesses, I've realized something that has totally changed my life, and I want to talk to you a little bit about it because it's something that is kind of anti what everyone else is saying, and so I want to kind of put it out there and put it in a different perspective for you. So I'm really passionate about growing and automating businesses in a way that brings a human element back into play. So I don't mean like getting on consults, and I don't mean like being all up in everybody's business or doing one-on-one reach outs and all of that stuff. I don't mean anything like that. But what I do mean is I think it's unrealistic and unfair when you hear like automation is such a buzzword right now, right? But you've probably heard things like automate and scale so you don't have to talk to clients. Sell online only because then you don't have to deal with humans. And it reminded me of when I was in college. My entire life, it's really weird. It's not really weird. It's like my big dream. I think when I'm like done having kids and I'm done doing this, I think I'm going to go to veterinarian school. When I was growing up, like my entire life, I wanted to be a vet. I wanted to be a horse vet. I'm a big horse person. And when I was in college, I was in a vet class. And in that vet class, it was talking about how to apply to vet schools. So there's two types of people in the world, right? People that want to be doctors and people that want to be vets. And I think there's a difference between a doctor and a vet in the sense that doctors deal with humans, and, they're a doctor for many reasons. I'm not going to venture to guess what those are. But then there's a couple different types of vets. People that want to be vets because they love the animals. Like I love horses so much. So I would love to be a horse vet and help heal them and stuff. But then there's vets that are like, I'm going to go to vet school because I don't want to deal with people. And it's like, that's not right. Because as a vet, you have to deal with people, right? You're dealing with very emotionally charged people that are, their whole lives are put into these animals. If you've never met me, my dog Lars is with me 24/7. He's laying right there. And I think that's kind of like this whole automation thing. Like I want to build a business, but I don't want to talk to people. I don't want people to know who I am. It's like, that's just not, I don't feel like that's a reality in our space. So we own a drop shipping business as well that has like no human interaction with that. Maybe a little bit customer service, but that's different than being a coach, a consultant, a professional service business. You have to have some sort of human interaction and human touch because people need to like, know, and trust you, right? So I think when people say things like sell online only because then you don't have to deal with humans, I think that's a load of garbage, and I think you should not buy into that. And here's why. I'm going to talk to you about why. Because humans crave interaction. Yes, even us introverts need some human touch every once in a while. And human touch doesn't mean that you need to go out and like be all over people and do one-on-one interactions. Human touch could be completely automated, okay? Like, bear with me. I will explain what I mean in a minute. And removing that human like interaction from your business just so you can make money without drama it just doesn't make sense. It's just not awesome. Like it's just like that's where the problems come in. And I'm going to be talking today about a couple different ways that you can infuse some human touch and some human interaction into your business without touching anybody. Okay, so you can do this without touching any human that comes into your community. It's just a way to really love up on people. So I hope that sounds okay. Okay, let's get going. Whew. Now that you know my life story about being a vet. Sorry, my hair is like a nightmare today. Okay, So first and foremost, you need to have some sort of human interaction. And I don't mean like you personally, but I mean it's very rare for people to buy from a brand in our space without them getting to know, like, or trust you. So what that means is because you're in this space, I'm assuming you're a coach, consultant, professional service business, you aren't able to say, here, buy this little thing, or buy this huge thing, or buy this wood product, or buy this toothbrush, right? You're not Amazon. They need to be able to get to know you first, and they need to be able to like you, right? So how many of us have heard people need to know, like, and trust you until they're absolutely blue in the face? Like, how many of us have heard that? I know I have a lot of times, but it's the truth. It's so the truth. It's real, especially in coaching, consulting, professional services, accountants, lawyers, all of you people. You have to have some sort of personal human feelings that resonate with you, that really help people get to like, know, and trust you, okay? They have to have something to love on. I think in our industries as crowded and crazy as ours, it's more important than ever that people see you for who you are and not see what you think they want to see. They need to be able to see you specifically. In my space, I'm going to tell you a story. Sorry, I have a script. I don't know if you guys know that. It probably looked like I'm staring and reading it. So I'm going to tell you a story. And in my space, there are a lot of masculine brands, and I call them bro dudes. And I don't say that with hate. I say that with a lot of love. I'm not a bro dude. And there's a lot of other types of people who have been around marketing for forever, people that have been around automation stuff for forever. There's lots of people and different types of humans in the automation agency space, okay? So when I started, I didn't want to be the face of the business. And I think part of that was because I had a 3-day-old baby and I was like the puffiest human ever. I'm going to have to show you guys a picture of when I was pregnant because I was like 200 pounds. I gained so much weight with that baby. So I did not want to be the face of the business. I did not want people to see me. And I also had kind of gotten my feet wet in the business consulting space for a few years before that, where I realized what it did to people. I realized what being that guru on the hill did to people, and I thought it was disfiguring. And I thought, you know what, that's not who I am. That's not what I want to be. And I don't want to become a person that I'm not. So I'm just not going to have people aren't going to know who I am. And that wasn't realistic either. So how many of us have ever done something like that where you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to put a brand up and this brand has to speak for me at all times and I'm in the background and they'll never see me. I think a lot of us have kind of maybe gone through that phase in business, and I feel like that's kind of a normal phase to go through, but I started in that phase. So after basically time and time again, I just saw guru after guru changing and not being who they really, really were, and it just wasn't what I wanted. So I decided I'm going to be a brand without a face, and that'll be totally fine. And I was really wrong. I was really, really wrong. And I mean, we did totally fine. Our sales were fine. I actually, if you guys know my story, I started my business, and in that first week, I replaced the income that I was losing. So it was a really beautiful, like, divine-led experience for me. But I was doing something really terrible. I had all of these other brands, all of these other bro dudes, and all of these other guys in my space that I was like, oh, I want to be like them. I want to have a business like them. And I was copying them and saying, okay, so they have this on their website, so I'm going to make sure I put this on their website in a Lindsey way. When I was doing that, it wasn't me. Like, it totally wasn't me. It wasn't what I normally would say to people. I mean, you can go look at my website right now. It has not changed except for my pricing since my baby was 3 days old and she's 2. So that's why I'm really excited for Quinn and my new website's coming out. But don't judge me too harshly on that website. I realized recently, like this past year, that, who was here? Someone was here. Oh, Tammy Nicholas, love you. See you. See you later. I realized that I'm not a bro dude and I'm not a guru, and I'm just a friend and a resource. And I was totally missing all of that for my messaging and for my branding and for my entire business. I was like, I'm supposed to be like these guys. I'm supposed to be doing what these guys are doing to have the success that they are having. And here's what I recently discovered. So you can pull back your personal time in your brand. You can pull back all the effort and energy and time you spend in that brand and still have people like, know, and trust you. You don't have to be out there doing one-on-ones and consults and all of these things in order to infuse that personal touch and all that love in there. But you do need to be able to do that in a way that's really you and not just, copycatting somebody else in your industry because you think that's what you're supposed to be doing. So currently, for example, we run Facebook ads to a lead magnet. The lead magnet is the same lead magnet that you can see in this group and that you can go download. And that lead magnet is doing just fine. It's totally okay. And because I'm trying to be true to Lindsey and give them a piece of me, so that's why I think it's doing so well, is because I'm not trying to stick out and be somebody else in the crowd. I'm just trying to be Lindsey. And I want to talk a little bit about the human touch aspect. So there's ways that you can do this, and in your lead magnets, in your Facebook groups, in your emails, all of this is possible. So stop with the industry jargon. My girls tell me all the time, like, you can't use the word lead magnet because people might not know what a lead magnet is. I'm like, that's right. It's just jargon. It's just words that you might not understand. And then it kind of turns people off. How many of us have looked at a website and we were like, yeah, like, I don't know exactly what you do, even though you were looking for them and they popped up, right? It's a weird thing. Excuse me. I always say, if you want to say to your best friend who has no idea what you do, then don't flipping say it at all. That's my new rule. So people get turned off by things that make their eyes cross, okay? Like, I have been looking at, for the past few years, I've been looking at so many pages, websites, emails, you name it, I've looked at it, and I can tell you, you might have even heard me say this to you specifically, this is making my eyes cross. Like, I can't understand what you're saying, and I feel like I should be able to understand what you're saying. So it was actually really interesting. I was listening to a podcast. I always listen to podcasts. If you want to hear my podcast recommendations, let me know. But I was listening to this podcast, and this guy, he was talking about how, like, Stephen Covey, like the 4-part framework, and there's a couple other people he mentioned. I can't remember their names. Stephen Covey just comes to mind because his granddaughter was one of my old roommates. But you need to put things in the simplest possible way you can, like, make it for people, and remove all of the industry jargon out of it. So, for example, with a framework that's like, I have a 3-step framework, I have a 4-step framework, you can tell people exactly what you're trying to say in that big long chunk of ugh, right? And still make it make more sense because it's in its simplest form. So I always say, keep it simple, sweetheart. You know, the KISS acronym. I think it's an acronym. I think that's what it's called. And you can have somebody, like, what I like to do is I like to go to my husband, who may not know exactly what I'm talking about, or my friends, or a neighbor, and just explain it. And you want to put that messaging through that filter of, okay, do you understand this? Because chances are you're about 5,000 steps ahead of where your person is, and they just don't get it. And I was thinking, at our retreat that we just had a couple weekends ago, we had an accountant who is such an adorable, amazing accountant. She's this massive accounting firm, actually. And she and we were kind of talking, and somebody said, you know what? If they know that word, then you should use that word because it creates credibility. And this was talking about, like, an e-commerce business. Do they know that word? And then I asked her, I said, do they actually know that word? If you were to say to them, I can't even remember what the word was now, but it was like over my head. If you were to say that word, would they know it? And she said, you know what? They actually wouldn't know it. Then don't use it. Don't put it anywhere. Like, if you're going to talk to somebody, break it down into the simplest steps. Remove all of that jargon. Because if you don't, then you're going to be sorely disappointed when people are like, this is making my eyes cross. I can't sit here and watch this. Or I can't, it's way over my head. I'm sure when people watch my Facebook Lives, they probably feel the same way. So, I'm going to work on that, though. All right. So it's important that you don't try to remove yourself too much from the entire funnel process. So now that we're talking to our friend and it's super simple and you've put it through that lens of, okay, if they understand it, beautiful, right? It's really tempting to just put up a sales page and say, oh, well, okay, now they should buy because it's really simple. I was talking to my friend. It makes so much sense. I have good marketing, right? It's really tempting to do that. But I'm going to challenge you to add a little bit of human touch. If you're not going to do consults, if you're not going to do anything like that, I would really recommend that you think about doing video. So videos are terrifying. I actually didn't do a Facebook Live until I think my first one was this year. Like it's been a long time coming. And video is hard. Like I get that video is really scary for a lot of people, but I'm going to tell you right now that nobody cares what you look like. Nobody cares what you sound like. People just want to see you. They just want to have that interaction with you. And doing a video, you know, where you're prepped and everything, not popping onto a Facebook Live with your hair like a mess, but like actually preparing and, you know, putting something out there. It's a beautiful thing. You will notice that things are different when there's video. Video is not going anywhere. I think it's just going to become more prevalent as we get more numb to marketing messages. So putting some sort of video, putting some sort of love on these people early on is so, so powerful to getting them to know, like, and trust you. And it's something that you don't have to do, right? You have to film it, but that's not something that you have to pop on a call for or do all of these things. It's done, and it's done once, and then it's done for forever. But I'm going to put a big caveat here. Don't be a robot, okay? Don't be somebody that goes and copies a script from somebody else and just reads it, like straight up reads it. Like I read a script for my Facebook Lives because I write it down, and you can read a script. Like don't stress about that either. But don't be a robot. Don't say things that you think, okay, I have to be saying these things because this is what my industry says. You do not have to do that. Please don't do it. You won't be happy with it. I guarantee you. But if you're putting out yourself and who you are, then you're going to be so much happier with it. And I want to say that from experience because I have done both. I have done, okay, this is what this top person's doing, and I'm going to write this script, and it's going to be so good, and I'm going to do it. And I didn't see the results that I was looking for because it wasn't me. It wasn't Lindsey. The other thing I should mention is you are a unique human being. You are beautiful. You are awesome. There's so many amazing qualities that you have. And you are a unicorn. And you are so much more than copying somebody else and is saying, this is what I have to do because this is what's successful in my industry and my space. And I know that from experience because I did it, because I took the biggest agencies I could possibly find and I said, this is what I'm going to do. And it wasn't me. It was not Lindsey, and it was really sad to see how much time I wasted before I really realized, okay, I need to be Lindsey. And again, go look at my website. You'll see how bro-dude it is. Bro-dude. Bro-dude it is. For example, for these videos, I'm here on this live. My hair is a mess. I have not this beautiful little setup, right? I'm just here. Nobody cares. I've never heard one person ever say, and if somebody comments this, I'm going to beat you. But nobody's ever said, like, Lindsey, when was the last time you washed your hair? Or anything like that. Because the only person that really cares about that is me. Everybody else is just here for the content. They're just here to listen and maybe pick up something or think about something differently. So I want you to remember that as you go to do video and you go to put yourself out there, you are the person that cares the most. Everybody else is just supporting you. And if they're not supporting you, then kick them out, right? Hello. There's a blog I've actually followed. It's called A Beautiful Mess. If you like crafty stuff and recipes and stuff, I love them. I have been following A Beautiful Mess since 2010, I think, so quite a long time. Quite a long time. It feels like a long time for me. But what's really interesting about them is they don't allow nasty comments. They don't allow on their Instagram, on their website, on their Facebook. They will remove you after one nasty comment. They never indulge in nasty behavior. And they just say, you know what? We get a lot of criticism for that because people are saying we're censoring. This is my space, just like that's your space. If you're going live or you're doing videos and you're trying to interact with people and someone's not very nice, just get rid of them. it's not you, it's definitely them. Just peace, right? So doing videos, doing lives, putting in some sort of love into your funnel, and using words that you would actually use to your friend will all do so well for you. One of the weird things that I wanted to mention, I put it on here, and I think I'm going to mention it. I was going to skip it, but I think I'm going to mention it. So one of the interesting things, and something I was super grateful for, was somebody that's in our Automation Foundations program, and she's also in our, she came to our retreat a couple weeks ago, so she's done both. She said, Lindsey, you are the same as you are in video as you are in person, and that's really refreshing. And I was pretty moved to tears about that, because that's what I want. I want people to say, okay, this is the same person all the way through. And if they liked that person, when they meet me in real life, I want to make sure they still like that person. I want it to be a good experience all the way through. So be you, say what you're going to say, do what you're going to do, and really own that fire within you and be that unicorn that you are, and you are going to go so, so far. So, lastly, the last thing is, don't be afraid to talk to people. Don't be afraid of engagement. Just because someone's telling you you can automate and sell a program and you'll never have to talk to somebody again doesn't mean that that's like the best way to grow your business or do business, right? That being said, if you don't want to do consults, if you don't want to do one-on-ones, then don't do them. Just change it out. Don't do them. You don't have to do them. Change your business model. But just don't leave this massive gap in the humanity of it all. Oh, the humanity. Because you refuse to do them. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It's all super powerful stuff, and I'm working on doing it better, and I know a lot of our clients are working on doing it better, and so I hope you can also work on doing it better. So before we go, of course, I have to do this. I have to promote our 5-day challenge. Again, if you come through, I'm going to get the link right now. Where is it? There it is. I'm going to pop the link in our chat. I would love, love, love for you to join us in the Automate to Freedom Challenge. It's just a really quick little fun 5 days, less than 20 minutes every single day. There's no cost to do it. It's just free. But I would love for everybody in here, if you would share it, if you would help us grow this group with like-minded, awesome humans, I would be more than flipping grateful for that. So I'm going to pop that in here for you, and you should get one little, one little confirmation email, and then the rest will come as we get closer. So, okay, I'm just going to hang out for just a couple seconds. I know I don't have a big viewership today. Do I ever? I say that like I do. I don't. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please pop them in here. I'll hang out here for just another 30 seconds, but let me know. Let me know if you have any trouble getting registered for the Automate to Freedom Challenge. And yeah, we'll keep you posted. Let's see. Okay, no questions. I'm going to pop out. It was so beautiful to be here. Thank you guys. I hope if you're watching the replay, please let me know you're watching the replay. And I look forward to seeing you guys later. Bye.